Hey guys, I know that some of you guys are probably uh, driving back home from work right now, but so I have about 40 minutes until I make it back to the school. I teach the evening class tonight, so um, I had to do an errand before. Um, I usually stay at the lab all day from like 8:30 to 8:30, but I actually had to go back home to take care of some stuff. Um, hey, Eduardo, how's it going? Yeah, so I had a couple minutes to talk. Um, I got some ideas I would like to bounce off of you guys to just let me know what you guys think. Um, but yeah, I have about a 40-minute drive until I go back and make it back to the school to teach the evening class. Um, so so on Thursday, I'm gonna be turning in my paperwork. Um, hey, Brian. Um, turning in my paperwork to for my contractor's license. So one thing is to turn in the paperwork, and another thing is then to study and to schedule the test. So I've been studying um, for the test whenever I've had time to study. Right? Hey, Gerald. I wish you the best. Hey, Arman, good to see you guys. So I was, if I'm like talking slow, it's because I'm trying to look at the screen while I drive. But so let me know what you think of this. Uh, Pressure would open. You might want to, if you can elaborate on that, Hugo, that would help. I don't mind answering your question. But so this is, I'm gonna turn in my paperwork to get my contractor's license on Thursday, turn it in, and then hopefully pass the test. And my goal is, this is the idea I want to bounce off of you guys. And I've talked to another buddy of mine who is a contractor, but I kind of want to kind of open up my own business and do internships and hire guys, where they can learn how to do building automation, just install building automation and get paid for it. That is kind of my goal, just because it accomplishes a couple of things, but for sure, we help the guys learn how to do building automation install. And I'm sure there'll be some mechanical install. The only thing with mechanical install is that with mechanical install, um, there's a lot more liability. There's sheet metal. It's a lot heavier. When I was a building automation installer, controls installer, it's basically your pocket screwdriver, wire strippers, your impact, a couple of things. There's not a lot of liability, and so that's kind of where I'm heading to. Hopefully, when I get my contractor's license, I pass. That's the goal, and I'm working with another contractor that can hopefully help me and do that, because he's definitely business oriented, and I think I need to start surrounding myself with um, uh, business people that think business like. So you get a pressure switch open after 10. Okay, Hugo. So if you get a pressure switch, it depends. I'm assuming you're getting a. I'm assuming it's your low pressure switch, but if it is your low pressure switch, and if it's open after 10 to 15 minutes, you're most likely having an airflow issue. So that could be, um, a dirty filter, closed supply vents, dirty evaporator, causing your suction pressure to drop low enough. Obviously, it's not completely flat, because if it was completely flat, the system would have not have turned on in the first place, right? Your 24 volts travels through the pressure switches. So if it was flat it would have never have turned on the air conditioning equipment. So if something's driving your low pressure down, so it could even be, it depends how low it is. It could be a restriction in your metering device, but I will always do the easy things first, airflow. And so pressure switch on a, oh, okay. So pressure switch on a gas system. So it's interesting you mentioned that, because today we're actually on the heating, we're on the heating module. So the pressure switch, it's gonna open. So pressure switch is a normally open switch, right? So what's gonna cause the pressure switch to close is if it senses a negative pressure from your inducer. But you're saying to 10 to 15 minutes. What is it? Let me go back to running the system. That's interesting. So I don't know if it's an 80%er, but I would check if your flue, right, your actual flue is not obstructed. Check if your flue is not obstructed. If it's an 80%er, check your flue is not obstructed. Check where the little tubing hose, make sure that's not broken. The tubing where it goes into your inducer, make sure that's all clear. Sometimes insulation gets stuck in there. But 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know if it's a package unit or a split system. So, but you're gonna be looking at anything obstructing or causing your inducer draft motor not to create the negative pressure. So, that's obstruction. 90%er split. Is it a split 90%er? It's not an ultra low NOx, right? If it's an ultra low NOx, I actually was working on an ultra low NOx. That's hopefully one of these videos. I'm finally understanding ultra low NOxes enough to teach you guys how to troubleshoot them. So those stink. But if it's a 90% split, it depends. You gotta usually you usually have a couple of pressure switches, especially if it's a two stage. But honestly, I'm looking at, for a 90%er, I'm looking at my collector box to make sure there's no water in the collector box. You make sure that flue pipe is tilted up so that water can drain backwards. So typically those flue pipes, it's PVC, they have to be upward. If you have it kind of collapsed, water is gonna sit. So I would be looking at my flue pipe. I'm located in Los Angeles, so yeah. I mean, I have. If you're in LA, feel free to reach out. I have my business email on my channel. So feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to guide you or help you out. But I just kind of going back to those that are here on the video. I'm getting my contractor's license. I'm applying for the paperwork on Thursday, and then hopefully pass the test. And I want to start doing internships to teach guys how to do building automation installation, controls installation, where you get paid and learn. So that's the goal. That's the goal there. So I'm actually working with another guy. Well, I've talked to him, and he's been in the business for a while, and he does all commercial service and refrigeration. He's in another level, so I'm learning a lot from him. So that's the goal. Of course, there's a lot of liability insurance and all that stuff I have to take care of on the side, but I don't mind doing it if it's gonna give guys work and then at the same time learn. There's more liability doing HVAC mechanical. You got sheet metal, you're a lot of heavier stuff, but I think I can get away with that, or it's more possible for building automation install. In LA though, to answer your question, David, you have heat pumps here. So I'm sure you know they're trying to do, I think they call it electrification. Yo, hurry up, pick me up at 9. Oh, I know who that is. I'll see you in a bit. I'm actually going to be late to class, so you better behave until I get there. But yeah, you're going to have more. They're trying to do something called electrification. and I think that's the word for it. But they're trying to move away from gas furnaces and do more heat pumps. But then you don't know you don't know if the electrical grid can handle, because the heat pumps, unfortunately, in winter you're running that compressor during winter. With the gas furnace, you're running gas, you're doing combustion, your blower motor, and that's about it. But heat pumps on heating, you're spending as almost as much money, if not more, running a heat pump and heating. So imagine your bill when you're cooling your bill during summer, it would be the same during winter, if not more. So it would be a lot more expensive, but they're awesome. If I were to get a heat pump, get an inverter. Inverters are the way to go for heat pumps. Um, if you get a typical on and off heat pump, I mean, that's from first personally, rather an inverter, because inverters, they ramp up and ramp down based on the load, and you do save energy. It's like mini splits. Mini splits are inverter. So yeah, you see, carrier inverters. I've been trying to get more exposed to inverters, and we have inverters that. So I'm trying to do classes or my videos on topics that are kind of hard to understand, a challenge, and teach you guys the basic stuff. So for sure, ultra low NOx furnaces and inverters, at least the basic, so you can know where to look at and what to do, because it is really hard at first. Um, so carrier inverters are good. I would definitely try, to learn all you can, but um, yeah, inverters for sure, not so much just a um, on and off heat pump. I would rather do an yep, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about for the ultra low NOx furnaces on transducers. They're actually pretty easy to understand. The hard part about understanding ultra low NOx furnaces, a lot of it is already preset. So the system's actually working off of how it was installed, like your flue coming out, the gas pressure. But transducers, typically they're a 5 volts DC and outputting back a 0 to 4.5 volts DC signal back to the board, and they're pretty interesting. So I'm gonna be for sure working on those, but I do want to work on ultra low NOx. And yeah, to answer that, Jeff, you know what? People like that, you don't need them in your life. Just get them out of your life, man. I've been there. I'll tell you guys a story too. Um, the fastest that I quit an HVAC company, I worked 1 day for this company and I quit right after. Another company, maybe the way the way he was treating me, about a week, and that was the only two times where these people, or there's one thing to pay your dues, work hard, but man, these two companies, man, they were making my life miserable, and a lot of other things that were going on, that they should not have happened as an employee ethics. So, of course, you gotta endure. You can't give up. You can't be quitting and applying. But there is a line that needs to be drawn, right? So I think you guys have all um, had those companies. But yeah, it's hard at first. But that's the goal. I guess just bouncing off the idea that I have for those that have joined. I want to start doing once I get my contractor's license. I'm gonna apply for that on Thursday. Get have internships for guys that are interested in learning the building automation install here in the Los Angeles area. So that's the goal. So to answer your question, Sam, I personally have never worked on refrigeration, very little, but we're currently working in our school and having a refrigeration module. and I have a lot of buddies that are professionals in refrigeration. So I'm in the process of trying to learn how to do that. But looking at the schematics, they're not too hard to understand. You're using different refrigerant, lower pressures, lower temperatures, defrost, heaters, whether it's hot gas bypass or electric. But that's I definitely would like to get myself more exposed. Yeah. Um, so yeah, if you do know refrigeration, man, that's a plus. The thing with me, I started more on the HVAC residential, light commercial um, service, and then building automation install. And then 1 year, I did programming, working for Carrier Controls. So I was able to program. So a couple of weeks from now, we have a project, and I've never done this. This is going to be my first time doing this. There are two 75-ton package units, two 75-ton package units, and instead of the condenser using air, it uses a cooling tower to reject heat. So I'm going to try with building automation, install it on one unit, and see how it goes. That's gonna be it's a little scary, but it's a challenge. But I gotta do it. Yeah, I gotta do that. So we'll see how. I want to see if I can get some content out of that. Um, but yeah, I just thought I'd bounce my ideas. If there's any other videos um, you guys have any other videos with ideas for YouTube videos, let me know. I ended up getting a microphone stand to help me record for mounting my cameras. For mounting my iPhone, I decided I'm gonna continue using my iPhone, but just to help me record, I bought a mic stand, so that's gonna help out. Um, but yeah, shoot some ideas for some YouTube content. I'm trying to um, produce more and more videos. And then I got 2 weeks off the last week of December, first week of January. You have 2 weeks off from the school, so I'll try to shoot more content during those 2 weeks. Um, hey, if you guys are at a school somewhere, if you guys want me to, I don't know, just go over and meet up with you guys, let me know too. I don't mind. Being in the trade is awesome, and the beginning of it is scary, but I always love to share things that you can avoid, so you don't have to avoid all the big problems and headaches that sometimes you find yourselves in because you just didn't know, right? So I definitely want to, you know, um, be proactive in that sense. Just give back. Um, but yeah, just go ahead and shoot some ideas. If you guys have any ideas on my YouTube email, I just wanted to check up with you guys. Um, it was good to see you guys. Thank you for the support. I am trying to do a YouTube moderator live. Keep it clean here. I don't know where that comment came from. That's kind of confusing. I don't know. I don't know if I missed a comment, but yeah, let's keep it clean. If there is a dirty comment here, it's a troll. Okay, yeah. See, that would have got me. It looked legit, right? Um, so, but yeah, just I really appreciate all of you guys' support. I am gonna hopefully create a tier soon. I know I have a membership right now where level 1. I am gonna try to create a level 2 membership um, where we can do a one-on-one, and if you need online training, online tutoring, one-on-one, then we can do that, and I can go over a unit with you on the other side, wherever you're at in the world. So that's kind of another goal. I'm just trying to get some yeah, some ideas here. What's that? Teal or peel banana? I don't even know what that means. Okay, I'm gonna pretend that's not there. So yeah, level 2. So I'm gonna try to do a level 2, and in that level 2, you guys will get a one-on-one tutoring wherever you're from, and of course, this would be nice if you're already in the field, even if you're new. I think I'm gonna start doing online tutoring, and then you guys can ask me any questions about a unit. Um, I want to start doing building automation training modules, but I am not there yet. I want to. It's just hard to get support for building automation. There's just so I've been trying to push for that, and I got the panels, but we'll see. I am gonna be partnering up with another contractor, but I'll work on that level 2 for at least HVAC uh, uh, tutoring, HVAC tutoring, online tutoring. Even if you're from, I speak Spanish too. I speak a little bit of Italian, not enough Italian to do a class, but I do speak Spanish as well. So Spanish, um, if there's any Spanish speaking speakers out there, I know how to do Spanish as well. So speak Spanish, and so yeah, just have that in mind. I'll work on level 2, and once again, thank you for your support. Um, you guys have been awesome. A year ago, I never thought that a year ago, I never thought the channel was gonna grow this big. I've only had it for a year, close to a little bit over 13,000 subscribers, and it's been crazy. And so I really appreciate it. It's all because of you guys, your support. So I'm always willing to help out, and so I appreciate it. Thank you. So where are you guys from? Any questions before I I'm about arriving. Well, I'm like 10, 15 minutes, so I got a little bit of time. Are you guys? Where are you guys from? What do you guys do? Any questions? Um, that infamous 6-7, right? That's that is unfortunate that got a lot of. Well, I'm not even gonna get into that. But where are you guys all from here? I think earlier I saw Texas and other places, but it's alright. I get that if you're driving, you can't text. So, Indiana, nice, nice. Yeah, we have a friend. My wife and I, we have a friend. She's married to a friend of ours too, and she's originally from Indiana. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I wonder if it gets humid over there. You have crazy winters and all that, but yeah, we have a friend over there. We have a friend that's originally from Indiana. My wife grew up in Utah, so but I was born in LA. Lived in New York for a couple years. I'm back in LA now, so but that's cool. That's cool, Sam. Yeah, Indiana. Where else? I'm sure I have people from all over the world here. I've gotten comments from Libya, Africa, the Philippines. It's crazy. Yeah, from all over. So that's pretty cool. What a small or close knit community. Um, but yeah, once again, guys, thank you for your support. I guess I can cut it here. I'm only a couple minutes away, so um, you guys take care. Stay tuned for the video I'm gonna create on. I'm thinking about whether to do inverters or ultra low NOx furnaces, or I want to do a video on how to deal with an irate customer. I am gonna include a little bit of AI, but the one thing I'm not gonna jeopardize my videos with is AI, because all my videos are genuine. There's only one part where I am gonna add AI. It's where the customer gets you upset, and you start visualizing the what if. You're like imagining I don't know, doing something to the customer, pushing them. But obviously, I would like for that to be AI generated. So that's kind of the idea with that. But no, my videos are always gonna be myself, just me, genuine. I think that's the one thing that if you guys ever want to do a YouTube channel, it's got to be genuine. Everyone's doing AI, wants to make it, wants to have it easy, make easy money. AI, make all your videos. It's got to be genuine. So from burners, okay, that's cool. So I'll do troubleshooting. I'll do a video on troubleshooting. I could do a video on um, hey, Ray, Raysa. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, Raysa. But greetings. Troubleshooting. I don't know if I want to do a video on your split system control board. Split system control board. Your furnace one though. A lot of people get confused with the Molex connector, and so I want to get really deep into that one. So I want to work on that one for sure. Um, and man, Rosas, 11-hour shift. Man, I remember those days. My days are still long here and there, but man, I remember those 11 to 12 hour days. Yeah. Okay. Good. I pronounced your name right. Your name right, Raisa. Uh, so yeah, troubleshooting. I'll work on those videos. I'll work on troubleshooting videos. And I write everything down. I write it on the side. So troubleshooting videos, I'll do that. Inverters. I'll do a video on inverter, at least the basic, the very basic on inverters. Because man, those PCBs, or printable control boards, those are crazy. But I can go over the basic stuff with that, at least to give you an idea how to work, how to check, where to start. I think that's gonna be good. So I'll go ahead and put that on the side. Uh, hey Christian, I appreciate your words, man. Thank you. I like to keep it simple. Resa, Risa, to explain that, if you want to make it go in reverse, um, and maybe you guys know a little bit more than this, but some of these, they call them what's that word? OEM, original equipment manufacturer part. Some of these original equipment manufacturer PSC motors, they come with your neutral, your capacitor wires, and your speeds. But some of these universal motors, let's say it goes bad and you got to replace it with a universal motor, sometimes they come with extra wires where you're able to actually reverse the polarity on that motor, and it can spin backwards. But it would have to be a universal motor that comes with that option to be able to do that. If I were to get a PSC motor and I would want to reverse it, I'm trying to think out loud here. The only time I've been able to reverse a condenser fan motor, but this is not good, is if you take away the capacitor and you spin it backwards, that motor is gonna start spinning backwards. But on a PSC, you could technically spin it, but you don't want to be using your finger all the time. But yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. The only time you would want to do that is, I don't know if this has happened to you guys. Years ago, I was working for someone, they installed the package unit. And you got your return and your supply plenum. And they ended up thinking that the return plenum, they thought that the return plenum was the supply. And they thought the supply was the return. So all the supply ducts, they installed them on the return. And then your return duct was on the supply plenum. So on that job, we were able to reverse the motor. But I still wouldn't do that though. I mean, just try not to make that mistake in the beginning. Right? Just make sure you're installing it right. And that job, it worked because our plenums were mixed now. And so we were able to do it so that it spun backwards, and it worked. But then instead of having a push through coil, now it's a draw through coil, right? Because now you have negative pressure going through that coil instead of it being positive pressure. And I'm sure that can mess with your delta T, right? But yeah, you wouldn't want to do that though, right? You would not. You would not want to do that in the first place. But issues like that happen. Yeah. So, but I have seen universal motors where it gives you the option to swap it, and then it will start reversing. So yeah, you could do that. But yeah, there's a lot of tips and tricks you can do there. You can do. Uh, Let me see if I can get this book that I have here. I bought this book. It's called Schematic Wiring, a Step-by-Step Guide by Stanley Aglow. Came out, I think, in 1980. This book right here, that book right there, man, I got it on eBay for 25 bucks. It's all about wiring schematics. It is the best book. It goes over refrigeration wiring. I've been learning a lot about ice machines, refrigerators. This, this is a good book. So, but honestly though, like there's so many books on HVAC that is so overwhelming. I wish there was just one book that just taught you, please do this and do that, and that's it. Very simple. But everyone's trying to get, trying to get into the business, and then this is my biggest pet peeve. They overcomplicate things. They make things very complicated, complex, and yeah, to just keep it simple. Just gotta keep it simple. The name of the book, Sam, is called Schematic Wiring, a Step-by-Step Guide, by Stanley Aglow, like glowing, glow, but with an A in the beginning. Aglow. That's the guy's name. So, yeah, that's the book. Let's see if I can get another light here. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's hard to get a. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's the book. Good book. Very simple schematics, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So that book there, man, that's an awesome book. So that is an awesome book. I would highly recommend that one. Yeah, those Gentech ECM motors, those are good. Yeah, would be nice to do one of those. I have that down to do one of these days. So, um, man, I don't know if you guys have ever driven in LA, but whenever you're driving on the 210, on the 10, any freeways going away from LA, it is a nightmare because everyone's going back home. So it is rough. I hate it with a passion. LA traffic it's terrible. Um, that building automation job that I had a couple years ago, and I enjoyed doing the programming. It was awesome, but man, sometimes with lack of support, being pushed into doing new things every day. Contractors, you go to a job, contractors, they're all yelling at you because the controls guys are the last. Driving to San Diego, coming back, going to Oxnard, coming back, it wears you out eventually. So it was not sustainable. But that's why I want to start doing internships. I want to start offering internships eventually for controls installation, so guys can learn and do install at the same time. I don't think that's a bad idea. We all make money, we all benefit, you guys learn, and I mean, no one's really doing internships for install, at least controls. Not so much HVAC mechanical because there's more liability, heavy equipment, sheet metal, more risks. But controls install would be, I think that would be the idea behind that. I think I would like to do that. But Reza, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I did go to Canada a couple years ago. We were in Toronto. I want to go to Alberta though, above Seattle. I heard it's beautiful. So, but yeah, Canada's a beautiful country. Um, So I manufacturers. You know what? I have not seen manufacturers. Oh, excuse me. Where the wiring is by color. I have not, and they should, but I have not. So what I did for the students here in our lab, and you guys probably saw it on my video. I think it's back here. I won't be able to show you guys everything, but I don't want to crash, but I got a schematic here. This is a schematic. It's almost like an adult size. So I went to what's it called? Staples. And don't get me wrong, each one was 55 bucks. So I spent about 120 bucks, but I sent them the PDF and they printed out the schematic, almost adult size. And then I had the students using like your erasable markers, your whiteboard markers, then trace everything by color. And then they were able to understand how diagram schematics, pictorial or ladder, how they work, because they were able to see it. Because schematics sometimes are small, right? Small. So that was the only way that I feel like if you're really having a hard time with schematics, get a save 50 bucks, get a schematic, a little one. I would do I would do a pictorial one to make it easier. Go to Staples and then get yourself, have them make it for you, and then you're able to see everything in front of you where all the lines go to. So for sure the pictorial one, just so you can understand. Hey Ressa, that's awesome, man. That is awesome, and you don't know how excited I get when people start their new jobs, and that excitement, just don't lose it. That excitement, that like don't lose it. Just go every day learning something new. Um, but that's awesome, man. As a service tech and a new battery plant, so that's gonna be nice. And I'm sure those battery plants need to be cool. So there's a lot of equipment there, huh? So yeah, good for you. Yeah, good for you, man. I don't know if it's residential or commercial. It's probably commercial, but yeah, just keep doing those preventative maintenances to on those systems. But yeah, happy for you, happy for you. Um, but uh, but yeah, that's what I would do, Christian, with the schematics. Kind of just um, print one out and then just take it from there. At least that's what I did, and yeah, and you know what? Teaching has I've learned a lot more from teaching. It's crazy. And Ressa, I'll give you a some tips, okay? So whenever you start a new job, um, obviously try to avoid, try to be safe. First of all, you're probably gonna do commercial, so ladder safety, touching equipment, putting your hand on wires and all that. Be safe. Use your meter, ladder safety, all that. When you're going to a unit, though, when you go to a unit, there's this sequence of operation you want to have in mind. Like, for example, today I was going over heating furnaces. Just to kind of give you an idea, I was going over how to, and I have a video on this, but how to approach a furnace, 80 or 90%. The acronym is TIP Big FB. Thermostat, inducer draft motor, pressure switch, your board, which is your safeties, your rollout, and your high limit, ignition, gas valve, flame rectification, and blower motor. Each word, it's the acronym for TIP Big FB. Um, so TIP Big FB. So when I do cooling, in your case, it's probably going to be cooling. It could be heating, cooling. You're always going to do what's easy first. That's the first thing you want to do. Of course, you're not gonna be opening stuff up, but usually you have a disconnect where you have incoming power. So you're gonna make sure you have incoming power first, and you're gonna check carefully with your meter. But that's the first thing. So check if you have power coming in, right? And then use your senses. Does it smell like something burned? Use your eyes. Is something black on the board, right? Like use your senses first, right? Always do the easy thing first. You know, you don't want to be putting your hands in there. Let me do this. Let me do that. Easy thing first. So, check for power. Check your airflow. And then I did come up with an acronym. I would like to get a better acronym, but TAG, TAG. T for thermostat, A for airflow, G for gauges, your pressure. But when you go, just always do the easy thing first. Check for power, check your filter, check airflow, and then you can start checking components. And then after that, it's just gonna be a trial and error, and you'll get there. But just going confident. Don't be too afraid, but don't be too overconfident, Ressa, because it's if you're too afraid, you can get hurt. If you're too overconfident, you can get hurt. But I'm confident that you're gonna be just fine because you're asking questions. So you're gonna be just fine, you know. So, and that's right, and exactly what Hugo said. ABCs, and I got that actually that acronym from someone else, and I don't take credit for that because I always tell the guys that. And I might have heard it on YouTube from someone, but ABCs, airflow before charge, right? Because you're not gonna check your charge if you have no airflow. You're not gonna be connecting your gauges when this whole time you had a dirty filter. Your suction pressure is gonna be low, and you're gonna be adding refrigerant, and your needle's not gonna go up because there's no heat going into your evaporator. You have a dirty filter, and so airflow before charge, always. Tag, thermostat, airflow, gauges. I don't know. Come up with one right now, guys. For cooling, not so much for heating. Heating is tip big FB, right? Tip big FB. Thermostat, inducer, pressure switch, board, safeties, ignition, gas valve, blower, flame rectification, and blower motor. Tip big FB. That's the acronym for cooling. Though ABCs, airflow before charge, tag, thermostat, airflow, gauges. I don't know another one. I have to get, we have to get creative. So, um, I just know which one. I'm sure. Well, if you guys come up with one, let me know. But I am gonna have to let you guys go. But I want to just throw this one last thing for those that have joined. My goal is to do the following. I'm gonna be turning in my paperwork this Thursday for my contractor's license, and then I gotta, take the test and pass it. And I'm working with a contractor who's been in the field for a long time, and I'm trying to do internships for controls installation. Easy stuff, just basic stuff, and give some guys work, give some guys an opportunity to learn and make a living too. And I'll take the lead with the teaching. It's just basic stuff. I focus on the 0 to 5%. That's my thing. I don't get too crazy and deep because I don't know it all, but I like to get into the foundation stuff. So that's my goal. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. How do you know if the system is charged with? How do you know the system is charged with? Oh, with that, if it wasn't vacuumed. Um, so if you have non-condensables, one thing you can do, and I'm gonna have to let you guys right now, let you go, guys, in 5 minutes. But one thing you can do: turn off power, disconnect, turn off power, disconnect your compressor, right? Your plug, just your plug. Okay, call for cooling. Your condenser fan is just gonna turn on, right? Just your condenser fan, okay? Connect your gauges. Okay, so if your system has refrigerant, let's say it's 410A, whatever outside temperature it is, right? Let's say it's 80 degrees, right? And you just turned on your outdoor fan, right? You got air coming in. Your compressor's off, but you got air moving, right? So you got that 80-degree outdoor ambient air, hitting hitting the condenser coil. What is your pressure for 410A at 80 degrees? I can't think of it. I can't think from the top of my head, but let's just say it's 300 psi, okay? For 80 degrees, because that's your outside air temperature, it should be at 300 psi on your low and your high side because the compressor's off. If you check your gauges and it should be 300 psi and it's like at 340 or 330 or 320, you got non-condensables. It should be right of where it's at. It should match your outside air temperature. But I like to move air with the condenser fan to get that the saturated refrigerant's temperature. So I don't know if that makes sense, but with it off, whatever outside air temperature it is, that pressure, when you connect your gauges, they should match that. And if it's a little bit higher or a lot higher, you got non-condensables. They didn't pull a good vacuum. And let me see. My friend is working in utility because of the brand new plan. We can't just see. Yeah, you got a lot of companies that will have you. They'll like. Yeah, they don't like people putting their hands on the units. But honestly, if you learned everything there is to those units, Ressa, everything you can, and you end up taking care of it. You just got to make sure of this. Two things. One, they're not going to have to call that company because you're going to be able to fix those units. And two, make sure that you're getting compensated. You're getting paid more fixing those units, because the moment they know you can fix them, they'll still pay you your hourly wage. So if you're willing to learn the units and fix them, they got to cough up and pay you more money. That's just the name of the game, right? But if not, they can continue outsourcing the cost to third-party companies, and they're going to get charged more. But that would be my tip.